Dinesh, are you seeing those same patterns play out before us?
We are, and I must say it's come as a surprise because there were many people, and I was not making this argument, but sympathetic to it, going back to the 1990s, that we are hoping and we are expecting that through trade and through constructive engagement, China will become more like us. Well, what we've seen is the exact opposite. So the point I'm making is that we have a police state, but we have a police state that is oddly compatible with rampant criminality in our cities. So we are clearly manufacturing a police state that is in some respects different than other police states. And part of what I try to do in the movie is explain how these strange behaviors, an open border, I mean, think about it. Normally, police states have a closed border. Think of the Berlin Wall as a symbol of how police states wall themselves in and don't let people come in. They don't let people get out. But we're letting people come in freely. Why? How is that consistent with our police state? So this is a movie that is not only emotionally riveting and very interesting, takes you right, sort of, it shows you people who are feeling the hot breath of the police state on their face, but it's also intellectually interesting.
You know, Dinesh, when I look at these things, I can't help but think of, and I know that you're a great scholar of the Gulag Archipelago and Solzhenitsyn in one of his final statements when they asked him how could all of this happen, he said all of this happened because we forgot about God. We transformed our belief in God into an ideology of politics and of the state. And in fact, when he came to Harvard back in the 1970s, he didn't come and praise our system. He said, I can see you following our same steps.
Yeah, I'm going through the Gulag on my podcast. And when I started it out, I said to my audience, I said, you got to be careful. This is a different time and a different place. And Solzhenitsyn is a very Russian guy, and he's going to sort of go into the bowels of Russian history. But then as we began to go through the text, I realized, no, the parallels to what's going on in America are quite startling. And one of the points Solzhenitsyn makes in the very beginning is that everybody is surprised when the police state comes for them. Even when there's a fully established police state, they don't really believe it. And the first thing that they say when their door is kicked in and a bunch of officers show up at their door is, why me? Or what did I do? And of course, there's no answer to that question. Very often your name is on a list. You could be on a list for 17 different reasons. So instead of doing the things you should do, which is fighting back, alerting your neighbors, shouting on the street as they're taking you to the car to be never seen again, instead of doing those things, you kind of have this naive belief in the system. Wait till I talk to them. It's just going to be sorted out. And I think that's where a lot of Americans are. We see these police state signals appearing in our country: censorship, mass surveillance, political indoctrination, the criminalization of political differences, political prisoners. And yet, like the wildebeest, or the antelope, you've got so many people who think, well, I'm not Trump, and I didn't go in the Capitol on January 6th, and I pay my taxes, so nothing's going to happen to me. And this is a film that says to you, you could not be more wrong.